Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to check out a preview for the upcoming content and changes here in Halls of Torment. So they put up this post a couple of weeks ago, but they've linked through to this thing here, which is their codex, which is basically like a work management system that they have put up there publicly so we can take a look at it. If we come in here, it has everything from bugs, requests and feedback to balance changes and new content. So we're going to go over a few of these things today. I'll just quickly go into the feedback stuff here. You can have a look. There's some interesting stuff here. Option to skip the cutscene. More loadout slots, stuff like that. You can have a look through here. Some of these are pretty basic stuff and not super interesting. I think the more interesting stuff for us to have a look at today is balance changes and new content. Let's just go in here. There's one in here in particular that is piqued my interest. Reduce health pools of lords in the late game. Might need some additional investigation. But lords, despite not scaling as strong as normal enemies, seem to have relatively high HP pools that take minutes to take them down. Minutes is generous. I would say hours at Torment 30, but hey, HP pools that take minutes to take down. Balance change might be needed, reducing HP and instead boosting other stats. I don't really know if you need to boost their other stats that much, really. I think they're pretty challenging at the higher Torment levels anyway, so, you know. Lord of Greed scaling with time pass is an interesting one. Let's go into the new content though, as there are some new artifacts that they've mentioned in here, which is pretty interesting. So there's a trait in here as well, a trait suggestion. So trade off crit chance for effect chance. So that's kind of interesting. That could be really interesting to make effect builds really powerful. Item demonic grasp. These are boots. Boots that make hands appear out of the ground that grab enemies, slowing them down and dealing damage. That sounds pretty cool. I don't know. Item, Beast Hunter's Hide, body. Summons beasts that will attack enemies. So this is a chest piece, is it? Interesting. Summons beasts that will attack enemies. Okay, we've got some artifacts here too. Artifact damage for debuffs. Each level, player deals more damage, direct and indirect, but attack speed, force area modifiers decrease. Interesting. That is interesting. I don't know. We would have to test it to see how it plays out, you know. I'm not sure how old these ones down here are. Let's take a look at some of them. Item Ancient Ring unlocks a third ability upgrade for a specific ability. Cannot be unequipped. Interesting. Elemental Capacitor transforms a damage bonus into elemental damage bonus. Ooh. Interesting. Enemy block increase for an artifact. All enemies get 2 block strength per player level. Oh, I don't know about that one. That sounds interesting, but kind of difficult. Okay, artifact Elemental Burden reduces damage effect chance by 50%, increases effect damage by 100%. Every enemy spawns with an elemental effect applied. Now that sounds quite interesting. So your effect chance is reduced, but the effect damage is increased, and every enemy will spawn with something on it, like either burning or frost or whatever. That sounds pretty interesting. I don't know. Have to play around with it to see. Now this one, artifact, giant enemies. This sounds super fun. Enemies get modified 0.8%, 0.8 times spawn rate, minus 20% move speed, plus 30% enemy size, plus 100% health, plus 50% XP drops. I don't know. It sounds really interesting. So there'll be less of them. They'll be slower, but they'll be bigger with more health and drop more XP. I don't know. It sounds kind of fun. I don't know. Artifact special enemies modifiers spawn rate by 0.9, 2% chance to transform enemies into special enemies. Special enemies get additional abilities and increase defense / HP. Special enemies can drop power up / gold. Special enemies drop additional XP. So there's some pretty interesting stuff in here. How many artifacts was that? Let's just see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would put us up to 35 in the game, assuming they don't get rid of any of the existing ones. Maybe they do some balance changes on the existing ones, you know. So there's a few quality of life polishing. This is official support for PlayStation and Switch gamepads. I didn't even know if there was support there or not. What are the altars? Let's have a look. So let's check out these altars here as well, because some of this stuff is really interesting. This is just a description of the altars, but let's have a look at what some of these could be. So maximum 1 per run, spend gold and sacrifice an item. You gain the modifiers of the sacrificed item directly to your character as if they were a trait. Now, this sounds very interesting. Treasure maps. Treasure maps are pickups that can spawn breakables with a very low probability from. When picking up a treasure map, a random point of interest is spawned in the stage. A treasure map item is added to the player's quest item HUD. The quest item has a directional indicator that gets fuzzy when the player moves and gets more accurate when the player stands still. Points towards a point of interest. Point of interest can be a large stash of gold or health potions, a special item chest with a position marker removed, or an altar. Altar of Demonic Trade, max 2 per run. Pay for a random reward. First reward is always specify a specific artifact once per map. Payment, reduce base max health by 100. Ooh. Increase agony rank by 1 if possible. Oh, interesting. And you get additional 50% gold. There you go. Not too bad. Altar of a Hexed Bruise, max 2 per run. Can we bring this down a bit? Yeah, we can. Okay, max 2 per run. Get a random debuff that changes based on unused potions. Minus regeneration potion, minus movement speed, minus damage. Get a random debuff. Selection of boons. 4 trait rerolls? 4... Okay, so... Random debuff that changes based on unused potions. Okay, this one isn't super clear to me. Do we sacrifice this to get some extra rolls and stuff? This one isn't super clear to me. Let's have a look at the other ones here. Okay, Altar of Curse Blessing, max 2 per run. Player has to take a random debuff to select a blessing. The buff changes the base values for stronger effects. Regeneration. Okay, these are the curses. These are blessing base damage, base crit, base strength. Okay. Okay. So you're sacrificing some percentage-based stuff or some base damage stuff. So depending on what build you're running, what setup you have, this could be really, really powerful. Okay, let's have a look at the Altar of Lords. Max 1 per run. The player can select how much more damage the Lord deals. In return, they get additional shards. Ah, interesting. Okay. Well, there you go. We'll be able to farm some additional shards. There you go. There you go, guys. There's a bit of a preview of the stuff that's coming. Now, there is no date as to when this patch will land, and some of this might still be subject to change. So don't take this as, 100% gospel, but it looks like some pretty good changes overall coming here, and some new content, new altars, which is cool, and, new artifacts sounds interesting. Some of them actually sound pretty good. The defense, the block one might be kind of tricky, but the other ones sound quite interesting, so I don't know. We'll see how we go, but there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash a like and subscribe. We'll be back with more build content pretty soon on the channel. We might do a stream tomorrow morning too, my Sunday morning coffee and chill stream. We'll see how we go. So I'll put a schedule up for that, so keep your eye peeled on the channel. All right, guys, you have a fantastic, amazing day wherever you are, and I will catch you in the next video.